Hello chess friends and welcome to Azarov Chess channel and welcome back to the Tech Mahindra Global Chess League tournament in 2024. We're now in the round 8 of this amazing chess event, and after the first 7 rounds the best team so far is the team the Alaskan Knight, where Anish Giri is playing on the first board. We're starting now with a beautiful game from the round 8 between the teams American Gambits against the Alpine Pipers. For the American Gambits we have here Jan Krzysztof Duda, and for the Alpine Pipers we have here the Indian master Ramesh Babu Praggnanandhaa. In my opinion, the best game from this rounds for sure, with beautiful tactics all over the board. We're really dynamic played in the Gioco Pianissimo of the Italian opening. So let's see now what happened with the white pieces. Jan Krzysztof Duda opened with the move e4, e5 by Pragg, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to c4, the Italian game, Gioco Piano, and now after move d3 we have the Gioco Pianissimo. We have knight to f6, c3, we have now the move a6. This is now the standard line with a6 with ideas, of course, then afterwards to retreat with your dark square bishop. We have now a4. Here Jan Krzysztof Duda puts more pressure here on this side of the board, and now Ramesh Babu Praggnanandhaa simply gets out of this potential attack because there is a potential b4 move, then maybe b5, and putting simply more pressure on this side of the board. So here calcing by Jan Krzysztof Duda, and now d6, h3, prophylactic idea by Duda, not allowing here to get pinned by the move bishop to g4. Here we have h6. Pragg does the same, it's not allowing any counterplay on this side of the board. And now knight to a3, pretty standard line, I would say, pretty equal position. Here white has a great idea to maybe play knight to c2, knight to e3, and then from that square to hop on the main weaknesses in black's position, the weak d5 square and also the weak f5 square. And now Pragg goes into a beautiful theoretical novelty, plays immediately aggressively here with the move g5. This is the way they go. Great attack here by Pragg. Nothing wrong with this move, but if you start to play like this, then I think you have to keep the pressure. You have to now show your cards here. You have to show what's really going on now. After move g5, here knight to h2 was played by Jan Krzysztof Duda, and what's the issue, I think, by Jan Krzysztof Duda's play so far, he never really played any counter attack here on this side of the board in order to somehow keep the position unbalanced, in order to somehow keep some threats by your side here. You have to, I think, play here in some lines b4, b5, at least showing also some willingness to attack somehow your opponent. Now after move g5 here, it's already very nasty, because after knight to h2, rook to g8, believe me or not, here black should be even slightly better, with ideas to simply proceed here with g4, and the position could collapse in only a couple more moves if white doesn't play the game correctly. Here we have bishop to e3. Still, I would say a pretty equal position, because Duda finds, I think, at least some kind of an idea to somehow slow down the attack by Pragg, but now Pragg plays an amazing g4. This is the way to go. And now for bishop to a7, what Pragg, I think, missed here, that's why I said if you start to attack, then you have to continue the attack. Here, it's actually not even the best move to pick up the bishop. You have to now continue here. Instead of knight to a7, you have to play g takes h3, and then things are getting very tricky. Black, for instance, get challenged in this way, white retreats, but then you have this one, rook takes g2. Look at this, very unpleasant now position for white to handle. Although you gain the piece, you can maybe cover here, then bishop to h5, but then even if you try to trade off something, then look at this, the queen is coming in a beautiful way into the game. Bishop to f3, king to g1, and I think, okay, the engine says white can defend his position, but I'm not sure how many of us would really love to play now this game from white's perspective. So here, as I said, g takes h3, the best move for Pragg, but he played, unfortunately, knight to a7. Here he missed his chances, and now Jan Krzysztof Duda says, okay, you had your chance to open the g file, now I'm going to lock it with the move h4, knight to c6, and now Jan Krzysztof Duda makes, I think, here also tiny little inaccuracy with b4. This move he should have played much earlier in the game. Now it's a little bit too slow here. A slightly better continuation is somehow to fix the structure here with the move g3, and really nothing can happen anymore on the king side. Here black would never be able anymore to attack somehow this position, and Black eventually has to secure somewhere the king. If then you play queenside castling from Black's perspective, then White would have enormous pressure on this side of the board. With the move g3 here, White should be already much better. But okay, b4 here by Jan Krzysztof Duda, bishop to e6, queen to d2, h5. We have now f4, queen to e7 with the preparation to play finally queenside castling, and now rook from a to e1. A good move, I would say, by Duda, because if something clears now on the e file, not only the queen is endangered, but also the king is endangered in the center of the board. And again, Pragg makes, I think, a new mistake in the game. He plays now knight to d7, which is seemingly a good move, seems like a logical choice because you're keeping the position in the center compact. But here you have to play queenside castling, and this move queenside castling actually prevents a very important idea that White has here. White, for instance, could maybe try the move d4 to put simply more pressure in the center of the board, but actually in this particular line it's not working, because after bishop to c4, knight to c4, knight takes e4 is working, and there's nothing that can be done. You play queen to d5 and then queen to d3, and then d5 fixes the knight, and here Black should be much better. I'm telling you about this line with a potential d4 move here for White, because after move knight to d7 that Pragg played, now d4 for White, it's almost like completely winning here for Jan Krzysztof Duda. For instance, you try d4, look at this, e takes d4, c takes d4, and look at this. I'm not sure if anyone wants to play now this position anymore with the black pieces. Look at this, the pawns are rolling, f5, e5, d5 is going to happen. Whatever the position is allowing, I'm not seeing good ways how Black is going to defend this. King in the center, stuck here. Even if you play queenside castling, as we mentioned, b5 is then rolling. Too much pressure. d5 is a threat, for instance. Too much options simply here for White. So d4 must move here for Jan Krzysztof Duda. Unfortunately for him, he played now the move g3, the move that again he should have played much earlier, and now Pragg simplifies the game, releases simply the pressure in the center of the board with e takes f4, rook to f4, knight to e5, and now bishop to d5, finally queenside castling. And again, Black should be slightly better here, because Jan Krzysztof Duda missed his chances with this d4 breakthrough. Here we have knight to c2, knight to f3, great move by Pragg, opening up now the g file. This is the attacking idea by Black in the beginning. Now it's finally working, and the files are open, and Black has now great attacking chances. What should you do? If you play here rook takes f3, seems tempting, but then queen to h4 is coming, then the g3 pawn is weak, the king is in danger, knight will eventually come into the game over, I would say, immediately here for White. So that's why king to f2, Jan Krzysztof Duda keeps everything compact, everything glued together. We have now knight to e5 by Pragg, knight to e3, and now queen to d7. Brilliant move here by Pragg, putting more pressure on light squares. Now we have bishop to e6, f takes e6, we have d4, attacking now the knight, and now great control play by Pragg, not retreating immediately with the knight. That's how you play chess. When you get attacked, then the first thing that you should do is search for counterattacks, not retreat immediately, because if you pick up, of course, the knight here, then there is immediately a checkmate with queen takes g3. So that's why rook to g1, first of all, by Jan Krzysztof Duda, and now knight to g6, again a beautiful counterattack. The rook is hanging here. Jan Krzysztof Duda has to take out now the pawn, but now knight takes h4. Great attacking flow here by Pragg. If you pick up, of course, the piece, then the rook is hanging here on a g1. So that's why rook to f4, and now again a beautiful attacking flow here by Praggnanandhaa. Rook to f8, not allowing here Jan Krzysztof Duda to breathe. Queen to d1, connecting everything. Queen to g5, and now rook takes f8. Rook takes f8, king to e2, and now again beautiful counterplay here by Pragg. Again, he doesn't retreat with this knight. This is the way to go. This is beautiful attacking style. If you pick up, of course, here the knight, then queen to e3 is immediately again a checkmate in White's camp. So that's why after rook to f3, here Jan Krzysztof Duda tried to protect it, but now rook takes g3. Now the pawn is falling. Rook takes g3, queen takes g3, queen to f1, and now knight to g6, preventing some dangerous checks with the queen maybe here on f8. We have now king to d2. We have now knight to f4. Pragg activates again the knight on a better square, but again locks out now the f file. The queen cannot, of course, have access to the 8th rank. We have now b5 by Duda. He's trying to do something on the queen side, but now a takes b5, a takes b5, and now Pragg is simply pushing the pawns further here. d5, h2, and now after d takes e6, now I think comes the most brilliant moment of this game. Here Pragg plays an amazing h1, the promotion. He allows here Duda to take, but now he has this chance to first of all deliver a check. The issue here for white is that you cannot go to d1. If you go to d1, then actually you get checkmated because of this beautiful activity by the queen and the knight. And Pragg calculated everything in a good way. Let's see how many seconds Pragg had on the clock. He had now, look at this, 38 seconds on the clock. Praggnanandhaa and Duda also 38 seconds on the clock. So in this fast time format, Praggnanandhaa found the optimal ideas here. Queen to f2, brilliant move, because there is always this threat of a checkmate here on h8. So that's why you have to be really accurate here. Now after king to c1, we saw king to d1 is not working. Now queen to e3 comes with a check. Now here Pragg simply takes out now this very important pawn. Duda delivers a check, but nothing dramatic can happen. The knight is close enough to the action, and here black is completely winning. But of course, here there's no increment in this game. 20 minutes on the clock without any additional seconds. Of course, it's fair to say you can still fight in this position, but you see, Jan Krzysztof Duda has now only 24 seconds on the clock. Pragg is even better in when it comes to time management here, so that's why nothing that can be done. Duda is fighting, of course. Praggnanandhaa reroutes a little bit his pieces. The only thing that Duda can do here is, of course, deliver some checks. That's exactly what he's doing. But now Pragg is defending everything, and now he starts to grab all of these pawns. Queen to c4, again retreating with the queen. Now after a couple more moves, and knight takes e4, king to b1, knight to c5, queen to c4, queen to c6, queen to h4, and now after queen to e4 check, and here this forced sequence in which white has to now trade off the queens. In this particular position, Jan Krzysztof Duda resigns. So great game by Pragg. We saw interesting idea in the Italian opening immediately to go into this attack. Really beautiful opening theory, but we saw if you start to play like this, then you are probably going to reach a tactical battle, and then you have to simply go into tactics. Pragg missed some chances, then eventually Duda missed some chances, and then we saw a beautiful attacking game afterwards by Praggnanandhaa with 100% accuracy. Really amazing stuff by the young Indian top grandmaster. So okay, let's see now the current standings of this event. So still the Alaskan Knights are on the first place, so where Anish Giri is on the first board. Really great performance, 6 wins they have and 2 losses. We have here also interesting situation. We'll see what will happen with Magnus Carlsen's team, this Alpen Pipers. Today they won the game against the American Gambits. Magnus Carlsen played a draw with the black pieces against Hikaru Nakamura, so nothing is lost so far. Still 2 more rounds have to be played, so I think great opportunities for any team here, but so far the Alaskan Knights are the best team in the Tech Mahindra Global Chess League tournament in 2024. So okay, I hope that you enjoyed this game. I really enjoyed it a lot. Interesting ideas of the Italian opening for sure. If you want to see some other beautiful games from this event, check out our coverage. Here are some links of some games that we have analyzed before, and if you like this content, hit the subscribe button. See you soon with some more videos, and what do we say in the end? Chess is the best, of course.